Welcome to the SAS Wine Club for July 2024. Tonight we will be blind tasting the crisp and refreshing Verdejo wine. In order to do this, we'll be traveling across the pond this evening to visit the country of Spain and its largest state, Castilla y León, which is around 90 miles northwest of the capital of Madrid, and where Spain's most famous white region is, Rueda. Rueda is roughly on the same latitude as one of our other favorite Spanish wine regions, Ribera del Duero. One reason fewer people know about Rueda is because no one goes to Rueda. We see these beautiful pictures of Castilla y León, but this is by Ribera del Duero, the beautiful banks of the Duero River. Well, your internationally well-traveled friends will never come back with stories of Rueda. It's a place where few outsiders even will venture. Rueda is a patchwork of vineyards on high, flat plains south of Valladolid. You won't find many picturesque mountains or rolling hills with the vineyards with the sun setting. You're going to see old vines, some hundreds of years old, and then also the sandy soil has these vines growing very low to the ground with very little trellising, and they look like bushes. But one thing about Rueda is it's also the home to exotic agricultural products. Like in the far distance, you see pine trees where they make the pine nuts, and then it also has sheep's milk cheese from Queso Zamorano. The Verdejo grape originated in North Africa more than a millennium ago. In the 11th century, it was brought to the Iberian Peninsula by the Mozarabs, who helped repopulate the Duero Basin in northwestern Spain during the reign of King Alfonso VI. The Verdejo grape, despite its long-standing presence in the area, was often overlooked in favor of other grapes such as the Palomino. The Palomino was used in a fortified sherry-like wine that was highly regarded in the international community. But in the early 20th century, a famed Riojan winemaker, Marqués de Riscal, arrived on the scene and started spreading the word about the Verdejo grape and the high-quality Verdejo wines. An interesting fact, in the early days of winemaking in Rueda, red wines were much more common than whites. However, outbreaks of phylloxera in the late 19th century devastated the red wine production, shifting its reputation to a white wine producing area. The production of a crisp, unoaked white wine style impressed the wine community, which led Rueda to be granted a denomination de origin status in 1980. Since that time, 19,900 hectares or 49,000 acres of Verdejo vines have been planted, and the number of growers has grown to 1,580 with 74 wineries. This is the first DO for white wine in Spain, and a very interesting note is, of all the DOs in Spain, Rueda is the DO with the most female winemakers. Here's an example of the classification or labeling system for the DO Rueda. You see what we'll be tasting tonight up in the left-hand corner is Verdejo, and then down towards the bottom you see the red wines of a Roble or a Crianza and then a Reserva. So it's just different, and they hoped when they made the DO to be able to have different color labels to help customers identify the types of wines they're purchasing. Taking a look at this wine variety chart from Wine Folly, it's very easy to see that Rueda is dominated by Verdejo. You do have some Cabernet Merlot, Garnacha, but most of everything that's grown in the Rueda region now is Verdejo, and then you'll see some other Sauvignon Blanc, which is used for mixing, and then we talked earlier about Palomino that was used in the fortified wines. So let's talk more about Verdejo, the uncommon light-bodied wine that grows almost exclusively in Spain. It's an outstanding alternative to wines like Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, and comes up with many surprising flavors. It's also a white wine that ages well. Tonight we can expect a crisp, refreshing, lime and grassy flavors. You may taste lime, green melon, grapefruit pith, fennel, and then white peach or white types of fruit. It will definitely be a fruity wine with light body, light sweetness, and medium to high acidity and alcohol. Some additional taste profilings: it's dry, light body, very little tannins. We talked about acidity and alcohol level. It should be served around 38 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit in a white type of glass, and it's highly recommended not to decant. And as we said, it can age in the cellar for 3 to 5 years, and the flavor that comes out of that is a toasted almond. Thanks so much for watching, and now it's time to sit back, relax, and let your sommelier, Ramon, take care of your wine needs. To the wines we will always remember and the friends we will never forget, salud.